You're getting lost in plot, and we're talking about Moon Knight. It's another Marvel show, guys. It's another Marvel show on Disney Plus. Moon Knight. So what the hell is it? Moon Knight. Moon Knight is starring Oscar Isaac as Stephen Grant, who works at a British museum about Egyptian history. He's a really kind of low, pathetic, scrub-like guy, and shock of shocks, it's a Marvel movie, so he really must have supernatural, magical powers somehow, or at least he's going to get them. So he suffers from, and this is the twist on the Marvel trope, he suffers from dissociative personality disorder. And that's a fancy way for, he goes to sleep and somebody else takes over his body and goes out and lives a life unbeknownst to him entirely, right? It also follows that kind of amnesia trope where you wake up somewhere and you don't know what the hell you were doing. And it's because the Egyptian moon god took over your body and ran out and was doing shit with it. And now, you wake up in a field and you got to figure out where you can get a taxi to get home. That's Moon Knight here. And it's a little bit funny to say it that way. And that's how Oscar Isaac is playing it here. He's playing it for the jokes. He's doing a British accent. He's portraying a guy that's really a loser and thinks he's got a mental problem. And it turns out, when he tries to chain himself to the bed and keep himself in the room so he doesn't go out and do stuff, something is still happening. He's actually still being possessed when he goes to sleep, and there's a whole other life being lived that he doesn't know about, but it's starting to come crashing into his pathetic existence, and he's going to find out that he's destined for bigger things because it's a Marvel show, and it's a Marvel story, right? And that's what Marvel stories do. So is there enough different here to really distinguish Moon Knight and make it special? Well, the interest here is the Egyptian gods and powers. If you like the stuff from old Egypt and the pharaohs and all of that stuff, it seems like that's really going to be the color for this same kind of tropey story. And there's some interesting stuff. There's an Egyptian goddess that can judge you for your moral quality, not just on what you've done, but what you will do for the rest of your life. So even if you haven't done something bad, she can judge you and kill you and say, well, why? Why would I wait until you do the bad thing? I'm just going to wipe you out now. So obviously there's somewhere that can go very dark, and I'm sure that our hero is going to be bumping up against that sometime later in the season. But the star of this episode for me is really Ethan Hawke. He shows up in this long hair, wearing some sandals filled with broken glass. He plays, I assume, the antagonist, a guy named Arthur Harrow. And he's like a really interesting cult leader kind of guy. He's been, all these followers kind of look up to him, and he judges them, and he can kill them instantly if they are a bad person. So he was interesting. I thought he was pretty good, but not enough to really set this thing apart as something special. The thing I liked, aside from Ethan Hawke, the most was really the music and the sound for this episode. It's really, really good. Like, it makes it feel so much more important than it is, because it's not important. It's not important. It's just another Marvel show. It's not important. But the music makes it feel like something really epic and good. But other than that, it's not something you're going to have to run out and get Disney Plus for. You're not really missing anything here. If you're a fan of the Marvel movies and the Marvel tropes, you'll be a fan of this too. It'll be right there for you, and you'll say, yes, I love it. If you're someone like me that has Marvel fatigue, an acute case of Marvel fatigue, I have Marvel fatigue. This is just another Marvel story. Is it different enough from the other ones? Is it different enough from Loki or Hawkeye or WandaVision or all the other properties that Disney and Marvel are just banking on? It's like, we're going to launch our network. We're going to do every single Marvel property they've got and just make all this money and run through the list. And that's what Moon Knight is. They're running through the list. So if you like it, if it's special or interesting to you, then there it is. Great for you. Enjoy Moon Knight. It's done very well. The music is great, but it is just, the same Marvel story that they've been telling with, different, painted up different colors and different things. And that's what you'll get. Oscar Isaac's really good. He has to be. He kind of like is the core of this whole thing. I think a lot of the A-list actors are all running out. It's like, well, check your resume, man. Check your resume. Do you have a Marvel property there right on your resume? Because everyone's got one. They're making money off it. So where's yours? And now Oscar Isaac has ran out and he's snapped this one up. This one is his, this Moon Knight one. And, you know, the visuals are cool, like all that stuff like you would expect from a Marvel show, but it's not really different or unique enough from everything else that Marvel's done to really be ultra compelling, more than just, you know, another Marvel property. So if you love the Marvel properties, you'll love this. Go out and get it. But if not, maybe look for something else. For me, I'm keeping it dead at a 5 out of 10. It's just the pilot episode, because really the pilot episode doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, it takes the whole episode. We have to get right to the end before he kind of realizes, yeah, I'm two people in the same body, and let me give it to the super special power guy to get me out of jams. And we've seen a lot of these amnesia tropes and things like that done before too, so that's what Moon Knight is. Guys, if you like this review, make sure you like and subscribe, because we'll be back doing more of these. If you liked Moon Knight, leave it down in the comments for me, because we will see you guys on the next one.